When you start playing a video game, you are entering an unknown territory. You don't know what the game has to offer or whether or not you want to keep playing it. Unless you watched like 100 trailers of it, then why do you do this to yourself?
Stop it. Get some help.
That is where an intro or an opening comes in. A solid intro to a game can immediately grip you in and set expectations for what's to come. Some games do it better than the others, but for the ones that do, I divided them into three different categories. But before we get into that, let me tell you what makes a good intro, in my personal opinion of course. A good opening is a accumulation of many great things, but they all have a few things in common. Well, for starters, they made it into this video. Then they have good story beats, great visuals, not just the graphics, but the overall presentation and what is happening in the scene. They have epic actions and most importantly, kick-ass, badass music. In all honesty, music does a lot of heavy lifting. Okay, now that we know what makes a good intro, let's get into the categories. Like my uniquely cool category name suggests, these are the intros that set the tone and throw you into a game right away. Remember when this happened? Not only does this look badass, but you have so many questions. The obvious one being,
hey yo, what the?
Followed by why is there so much blood? Why is he dangling off a derailed train next to a snow-covered mountain? How is he still climbing? That is because as soon as the cutscene ends, you are asked to climb the wreckage, which is insane. Another game I want to talk about is God of War 3.
Zeus! Your son has returned. I bring the destruction of Olympus!
It works so well because the game starts right from where the God of War 2 left off. It sets the scene and has an amazing scale and epic music that starts the game right away. You are now on Gaia, climbing Mount Olympus trying to kill Zeus. By the end of this opening, you have already killed Poseidon in the most brutal way and finally face off against Zeus, which does not end very well for Gaia and Kratos. But the holy grail of this category is of course Marvel's Spider-Man. The opening sets up a lot of things. Peter's smarts with the different makeshift gadgets, his mask installing software on a broken laptop, and that he has been collecting money in a jar to get a new laptop, the list of villains he's put behind bars, and when the phone rings, you see all of this being used. The music also helps a lot. Wembley Jets Alive kicks in. With Peter now suited up as Spider-Man, he gets a choice. Pay the rent or save the world. Maybe he should have put a jar for rent too. Obviously, he wants to save the world. So he jumps out of the window and it's awesome. The song just pulls up and you feel the adrenaline. You are pumped and you are ready to go. But it gets better when you see this on your screen. You are already playing, you are excited, you are happy, you are Spider-Man. Man, so many emotions. Speaking of which, let's get into the category 2. In this category, I want to talk about the games that grip you in with an
Emotional, damn it!
It could act as a motivation for the rest of the adventure or set your tonal expectations for the game. Call of Duty games in the past have had some excellent mission to story structure, but the most brutal can be summarized in 3 words.
Remember, no rush.
The mission, simply called No Russians in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, takes place 30 minutes into the game, but it is an introduction to the game's main antagonist, Makarov. You are a deep undercover CIA agent who secured a spot in Makarov's squad and have to take out an entire airport filled with civilians just to send a message. It's obviously brutal, and the fact that you don't have to shoot a single bullet and yet you still do shows what kind of a person you are.
Stop it. Get some help.
The gut punch comes when the actual message was you. Makarov already knew you're the snitch and you get shot in the face. While we are on the topic of antagonists that shoot you in your face, remember Wasp from Far Cry 3?
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Yeah, that intro is pretty brutal.
Shut the f*** up!
A group of friends and family chilling on a beach only to be captured by this insane man. Your brother is from military, so is obviously trained in killing anyone by doing just this. What's cool is that you see how these people treat the island trespassers during gameplay, setting the stage for brutalities to come. You almost make it out, but Vas shoots your brother in the neck while you try to stop bleeding. You actually press a button to stop bleeding. It's so intense. Vas lets the main character run away and he ends up in a river only to be saved by someone. And that is when you see the title screen. Man, Ubisoft had it figured out. What happened? Of course, we cannot talk about emotional damage without mentioning The Last of Us Part 1, the death of Sarah.
Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah.
I have seen this a million times already, and it still gets me. Even more so because I'm a dad now. It even got me while I was live streaming the PS5 remake. What makes it so impacting like the previous games I mentioned is because it's all gameplay. You first start as Sarah, a scared little girl who has no idea what is going on. Then you take control of Joel, an equally scared dad who loses everything by the end. The fact that this game jumps 20 years into the future makes this loss even more brutal. And then there was part 2.
My name is Jeff.
Huh?
Joel, fucking get up!
But we are not going to talk about that here. I get chills even thinking about it. Speaking of chills, category 3. You gotta admit these segments are cool. Some openings are so cool, they send a full body chills every time I watch them. It's a combination of well placed credits or title screen, amazingly stylish visuals, great story beats, and most importantly, banger music that absolutely slaps. Case in point, Devil May Cry 5. There are so many little details jam-packed in this stunningly choreographed intro. It's crazy. Like when Nero shoots this metal sign here, it is later seen to hit another enemy which can be seen flying in multiple scenes. The Deadpool style credits also make it fun to watch all the way through. It definitely takes multiple views to really appreciate what's on display here. That's not a problem of course because full body chills every time I watch it. What elevates all of this is that banger song. Devil Trigger, composed by Casey Edwards and performed by Ali Edwards, is so freaking cool. I ended up listening to this song on repeat while working on this video. Isn't that true, editing VK? I know man, still listening to it. But there is one other game that single-handedly inspired this video.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait! Everybody calm down!
I already talked about this intro briefly in this video, but let's go a little deeper. Before the intro even takes place, Jin has suffered so much emotional trauma and had to change his ways of samurai and transition to becoming a ghost. The uncle is kidnapped and most if not all of the fellow samurais are dead, and you now have to save your land with whatever it takes. So this release to the open world with an amazing music feels so good. Chills every time. As soon as you see a Sucker Punch production on the screen, you know.
Shit just got real.
Little things like Jin bending over to touch the grass tell you how much he loves this land. You instantly know this game is going to be special. The title sequence ends with Act 1 Rescue Lord Shimura, so you know what the main objective is. The crazy thing about this is that this intro almost didn't happen. Originally it was supposed to be just a run-in with a few Mongols and you fight them. When the game was being internally tested, Scott Roddy, who is the head of internal production at PlayStation Studios, told he felt a little cheated. The E3 demo showed off Jin riding his horse in that beautiful white field, but the game never delivered. That is when the devs went back to the drawing board and put together the test video that you see on the screen now. After a few refinements, it is what we got today. IGN made a detailed video of how it went down, and the link for that will be in the description if you are interested. This is probably the simplest intro on the list, and yet it never fails to impress me. Sucker Punch got honest feedback and they ran with it to create a masterpiece of an intro. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe if you are new here so you don't miss out on my future content. Let me know down in the comments what is your favorite video game intro. I also live stream all the games that I play, and I'm currently live streaming Last of Us Part 1 Remake on PS5. Thank you to all my channel members for the continued support. Their name are on the screen now. This video would probably get demonetized to hell because of the licensed music that I've used. But you can support this video by using the super thanks button that is right next to the like button. That's been it. I'll catch you guys in the next video.